problem. Luke, how did you see that first up? Obviously plenty of learnings to take away from it. Strong start, overwhelmed in the end.
Yeah, we're really happy. You know, it's our third ever game together, and there's a lot to like within the game in terms of our forwards and our mids and our backs doing things that we've seen improvement over those 3 games. There was times in Q2 and Q3 where Collingwood really brought some good pressure, and yeah, we'll look at that and acknowledge that they're a fantastic team and they've played a lot of footy together. So we knew that, but I guess there was times where we probably just fell a little bit short in some of the contests.
Do you feel like you should perhaps also capitalise a little bit more early, and that's obviously a difficult breeze to navigate?
Yeah, we had some shots, and it was great to see one of our Irish recruits nearly snag her first goal, but it wasn't to be. And yeah, look, we had some opportunities. Clearly, we had some inside 50s that we didn't quite finish off, but that's a positive that we're getting it in there.
And young Hill, how's her knee?
Yeah, we think it's her knee. She's a bit sore, but we'll obviously we're not quite sure yet. We'll wait on scans and yeah, we'll just sort of see what comes of that.
Emma, what was it like out there today, and how do you think the girls handled the pressure and the sort of times where Collingwood sort of lifted everything?
Yeah, there was no surprise that we were expecting a bit of heat the first game. It's sort of feels like a bit of a grand final, that first bounce, and that first 5 minutes was certainly felt like a whole game within itself. So there were no surprises there, but again, no surprises with how our girls handled that first quarter as well. And we certainly brought some physicality, and yeah, I was pretty happy with how we started and sort of adapted into and throughout that first quarter.
It's always little milestones when you're getting up and going. Was it like to see the first goal go through and to hold that lead for quite a bit of that first quarter, second quarter?
Yeah, look, it was nice to see Hooks put that one through, and a bit of a mungle kick off the boot, and I think she was happy to see it sailing through, and it was great that the girls all got around her, and yeah, it's something I guess we keep working on, and as Luke said, there were a few looks early in that first quarter, and yeah, it's something that I guess we want to capitalise on in the future.
You did touch briefly on the Irish connection. You've tripled the number of Irish imports in the league from last year, so that's a really positive sign. But Grace Kelly had a really good first quarter and a strong game. But how did you see their performance today?
Yeah, you mentioned Grace. I thought her performance over the 4 quarters was great. She came off late with a little bit of cramping, so we'll, obviously the Australian conditions are. She's still acclimatising, and Neve, I thought again, also for her third game of footy, just her ability to win the ball and take the game on was really pleasing. So, yeah, a lot to like about their performances, and I'm sure they'll reflect and grow from what they've just experienced.
Luke, when the men's team first got going, they had a lot of years struggling with travel and with that adjustment. How do you think your girls have handled it so far, and what sort of things are you doing to sort of stay on top of that?
Oh, I think they've handled the travel and the I guess the schedule really well. They're a great group. They're really mature. They've taken every part of this in their own steps. So we're really comfortable with what the travel presents for us. We look forward to coming over and playing in Melbourne and Sydney, but obviously we get some games in Perth too. So that's great. But no, they've handled it really well.
Emma, how'd you find it? Sort of making the travel? I imagine you've probably done it before, but some of the other girls might be new.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, personally, I've flown from Sydney the last couple of years, so Sydney to Melbourne's just down the road, so it's not too bad. But yeah, it's obviously different, and it's a challenge. But I think our group's taken the challenge really, really well, and it's an opportunity for us to spend sort of 24 hours before a game together, which you don't get at home. And in that time, we're grab a coffee with someone that you don't usually spend a bit of time with, and play a few board games after dinner. And so I guess using that challenge that it presents to in a positive way, and building a bit of team camaraderie around it as well.
Speaking of Perth games that are much bigger than the derby that's coming up, and Frero's been a strong team for a few years now. We've got Dana that's obviously crossed to the aside, how's that going to be preparing the team for such a big occasion in Western Australian footy, and also just for all of the girls out there?
Yeah, it's going to be a really big occasion for both clubs and obviously the state. We have an inaugural AFLW Derby. We'll prepare really well. We'll prepare like we have for this game, and we'll review this. We'll gather ourselves. We'll make sure our girls are recovered well, and we'll get them back up and going. Get some training into them midweek, and select our team and go again. But and our focus is just shift to the next game.